Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. I am Chris Elams. Today, Umuchibo community in Enugu State handed a new road project. With palliatives and other COVID-19 relief materials coming from various sources, some Lagosians are giving their blood to save lives. Finally, the third Melon Bridge is safe for use, says the Federal Controller Works, Engineer Olukayode Popola. Join us for these and more on Eyewitness Reports. A 30-kilometer road constructed in Umuchibo community in Enugu State is opening up several possibilities and communities to a new lease of life. In 2018, it was just a wish, but today it's become a reality. Umuchibo, one of the many communities in Enugu East local government area bordering Abakpa and Emene, is known for its green scenery, vast virgin land and strength in agriculture. Most of the farm produce from here are sold at both Abakba and Emene markets due to proximity. Umuchibo community also plays host to the popular Adoration Pilgrimage Center, as well as a yet-to-be-developed Harmony Estate. It would have been an easy bypass to the Akanu Ibiam International Airport for those traveling down the southeast and south-south from the north. But the state of the road was a major challenge. For so many of the residents, constructing a road through this thick bush would bring relief to them, and decongest the usual gridlock at both ends of Abakba and Emene. So, in 2018, the governor and his team visited to have an on-the-spot assessment of the area and also established the possibility of constructing a road through the bush. Months down the line, the road is not only a possibility, but has become a reality and has been handed over to the people.
Oh Lord, we are very, very grateful. We are saying thank you, Jesus. I am delighted to present to the good people of Enugu State the newly reconstructed Nike Lake Junction Harmony Estate, Amojinike Adoration Pilgrimage Center, Oriemene. This completed standard asphalted single carriageway was conceived by my administration as the first bypass to ease the traffic flow in the Enugu East Senatorial Zone, including the interstate vehicular movement on the recommendation of the Enugu State Urban Renewal Committee. This bypass also provides access to the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, currently undergoing refurbishing and rehabilitation, and opens up development at the Harmony Estate. The first section of the 13-kilometer road was the completion of the Oriemene section with a spur to Adoration Pilgrimage Center, consistent with our procurement policy of start to finish.
Before now, this road was a forest. There was no road of any kind here before now. The governor started from the road, from the bush clearing to this asphalting level. In fact, this road is a miracle.
Other residents describe it as a huge relief, highlighting the socio-economic benefits of the project.
With this bypass, all-important bypass road, our people can now have access. Instead of going through popular T junction, they can also have access. Those going to Emene and the international airports, they can also use this road to Emene and its environment. And again, you know that land is also a very important commodity to people of Nike. You can see the thick forests. With the coming of this road, you will see development coming, and the value of the land owned by the Nike people will increase for sure.
Through here, you can join the former Eke Emene, Oriemene market, and through Oriemene, you're already at the Air Force base. So this road, before now, if you go into all these places I mentioned, you will have to pass all through Abapa. if you know about, you have to pass through, like going round. So our governor have stopped us automatically from going round. Now we go straight to where we are going, not going round again. I'm talking about far distance turning around. You need to like turn for like 45 1 hour drive to get to where you're going. But now you just go in through here and that is it. So this is wonderful. This is commendable.
The 30-kilometer stretch road bypasses several communities and it's an all-important project, according to the State Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, who lists the advantages.
It has a lot of advantages. One, it has freed traffic from the senatorial zone, people coming in from the northern part of Nigeria, to access and bypass the metropolis for onward transmission to where their destinations. Two, it has opened a new vista towards building a smart city at the Harmony Estate that have been locked up for a lot of years. Now, development in the Harmony Estate meant for residential accommodation and other structures can now come up because they have a third road passing through that. A smart city will emerge from this. And also, it has provided and will continue to provide jobs for our teeming population, especially the youths. Because road construction involves both skilled and unskilled labor. For the past couple of months during the construction period, it has provided labor, skill, through the contractors for the execution. And now the city has been opened up. It is also, like I said, a new vista for economic development.
With this off the wish list of the people of the community, they want more to improve their living standard.
This is one of the social amenities. If you give us light, we just need light. If we just tap our holding, let them man put from here to that place, this place will develop.
We need water. Sometimes we don't have water, we have to. And the boreholes are not producing enough water. So we have to start coming inside town with private cars to fetch water back to that place. So I think it will be a very big relief as they have produced road for us. If there is light, then I think that MNL will be very comfortable for anyone.
As they make their plea, the government promises to do more.
With the road now passing through the Harmony Estate, yes, other provisions, other infrastructural services, which include but not limited to water, extension of the electricity plan, electricity infrastructure, mechanical infrastructure will follow suit. We want to make sure that people who are in Enugu State have a good ambience and utilize that road properly, because the government has value for both the citizens and the infrastructure, the hard-earned infrastructure from the hard-earned value of the state government funds. So we're on top of it and we'll continue to improve those services.
Road is an important public asset and basic human necessity, making crucial contributions to the economic growth and development of any nation. As they hope for more, users are encouraged to protect the assets and desist from any act that will cause damage and reduce the lifespan of the project. Only recently, news started flying around that the third Melon Bridge was not safe and that motorists should avoid plying the route. Well, we caught up with the Federal Controller of Works, Lagos State, Engineer Popola, who says the story was only a figment of a mischievous mind's imagination. He says the bridge is completely safe for use. The third Melon Bridge continues to occupy a prominent position in the day-to-day activities of Lagosians, especially those who have to go across the lagoon. This is why any news about the bridge commands a lot of attention from Lagosians. Only recently, the social media space was awash with stories of some defect on the bridge, raising safety concerns. However, the Controller Works of the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Engineer Lukaide Popola, dismisses the story as a mere fabrication by mischief makers. He says the bridge is quite safe.
There is nothing wrong with this bridge. Everything is in order. The bridge itself, when you have a breakdown on top of the third mainland bridge and you park your car, when you come out, you may experience vibration. That vibration is nothing to fear about. It's because the bridge itself is designed as a flexible pavement. And if it's not vibrating, it means it's not flexible. And if it's rigid, it can collapse. But this bridge is vibrating, therefore it's a flexible bridge.
He, however, adds that contract has been awarded for the routine maintenance of the bridge.
The award for the maintenance of this bridge has been awarded to Messrs. Brunei Prono Nigeria Limited. All the bearings that they are going to replace have already been imported and they are kept safe. We are changing 13 number expansion joints and we are replacing all the worn out rubber as part of the contract for the maintenance of this third mainland bridge.
At the moment, going to the island via a coal bridge is impossible due to the lockdown of the bridge. Motorists now struggle to use costain under the bridge. This often leads to congestion and loss of man-hour. The Controller Works speaks to these and other repair works currently ongoing, including the Marine Bridge project.
Eco Bridge work has not started yet, but it takes time to procure the contract. But I'm sure the award of the contract is in process. Very soon work will start on it. But as I said, in order to prevent calamity, we close it down to traffic. Right now, we are working on Lagos-Shagamu Section 1. Julius Baja is already there. They are working. Even during this lockdown, they have the clearance to go and continue with their work. Also, Messrs. Buildware Nigeria Limited is working on Marine Bridge as we are talking. CCEG has work on the outer Marina Road, and they are already there. They are working. The one that they have not started is Lagos Badagry, because most of the workers of the contractors, they are not in Lagos and they are locked down wherever they are. There is no way for them to come back and work. And I'm sure immediately there is a movement, the lift ban on the lockdown, all the contractors where we are working, they will come back and continue with the work. Ikorodu Shagamu, although the contractor too traveled, because of the lockdown, they cannot come back now. Work was going on before the lockdown. I want to appeal to Lagosians. All the projects where we are working, they should please exercise patience. They should cooperate with the contractor so that we will prevent accidents and the contractor will be able to finish all the ongoing projects as designed at the earliest possible time.
As more vehicles return to the road, the least of the worries of Lagosians will be unsafe infrastructure, which is why regular preventive maintenance of these bridges is very vital. The COVID-19 comes with several appendages today: impact, palliative, stimulus, vaccines, local solutions, and much more. Now, while those who are capable are focused on relieving the burdens of those who are vulnerable through donations, a group of Nigerians are giving their blood to save lives. Let's go on this story together. While scientists and researchers battle to find a cure and a vaccine to the novel coronavirus, individuals and organizations are doing their bit to ease the pain with donations of money and relief materials. However, some individuals are donating something else: blood.
We're actually donating 1 unit of blood.
At the Lagos State Blood Bank, Some residents of Lagos have come to donate blood, which will be used in the treatment of those infested by the virus.
Despite the pandemic, people still need blood during childbirth. Children still need blood when they are ill, especially in cases of severe malaria for malaria, severe anemia for malaria, which is a very, very common thing around here. People still need blood during accidents, which is still happening during this COVID despite the lockdown. And that's for those that need blood. And then COVID patients who can donate blood. We need the plasma from their blood to help them to actually save people with very severe infections. So we are here to donate blood for ill patients in the hospital, and the blood transfusion service is here to collect blood for the plasma extraction from COVID patients that have recovered.
According to researchers, when you donate blood, your body replaces the blood volume within 48 hours of donation, and all of the red blood cells you lose during donation are completely replaced within 4 to 8 weeks. So one after the other, they take their turns clenching and releasing their fist in order to make the process seamless. This is an initiative of the Institute for National Transformation.
Many families are going through all kinds of trauma and challenges. And so we have decided in this season that our alumni should organize at least 2 outreach programs. One is blood donation, and next week we're doing food bank to feed about 500 families. But I think we have been able to let people know there is a need. People are suffering and they need us. You just put yourself in their situation. No matter how difficult, you want people to come out and also meet your own needs. So I think people have been magnanimous and coming to respond. We are very happy indeed.
Some of the donors share their experience.
Because it's part of my responsibility to give back to my community. In a country where we promote individual social responsibility, which I've just done. Because this is what I do very often. I do that every 3 months. I do that 4 times a year. And this is about the second time I'm doing it this year.
While blood donation might be helpful to the needy, experts also say it helps in reducing the risk of damage to liver and pancreas. It could also help in improving cardiovascular health. Jerry Malu and his team are busy at their workshop in Jos, putting together a hand wash that could spare users the risk of contracting the coronavirus in public places. Since the use of the hand is the surest means of contracting or spreading the virus, these young guys are finding ways of making the use of soap, sanitizers, or hand wash basin in a public space safer.
With the coming of this virus, we kept thinking of how people wash their hands. When we go to bank, we see washing bowls in front of the banks. They use their hands to turn it on, wash their hands and still use the same hands to turn it off. And we just kept thinking, the process of turning it off, you could contaminate any bacteria, any living organism that has been deposited on the tap head already. So we felt it's good and safer or better than doing it with hands.
This fabricated device is meant to ensure that, as demonstrated by a member of his team.
To use this machine, you simply press this for your soap application, like this. You rub and you apply your water by pressing this place. You wash your hands for as long as you want under flowing water, after which you shake and you use your towel tissue to clean your hands. Afterwards, you can now press for your hand sanitizer application. In this way, we are going to help stop the spread of this COVID-19.
Beyond the issue of keeping safe, which this fabrication is meant to address, the young men are also hoping to plug the gap in the search for ventilators required to help COVID-19 patients suffering respiratory failure breathe well.
Been high demands of ventilators all over the world. African countries have been faced with the challenge of getting cheap and affordable ventilators. In some situations, you may even have the monies to buy the expensive ventilators, but they are not available for purchase. Benny came up with the design of making cheaper ventilators with parts that could easily be accessed within our country.
I saw the Bernie ventilator, and from my observation, he needs more time in order to smoothen the rough edges, because ventilators initially, when you look at the history of ventilators, the first thing that they produced first was the positive pressure ventilators, and it was discarded because people were dying because of too much positive pressure. And his ventilator has some issues about, settings. The ventilators generally are divided into two. The settings, what you impute, and then what comes from the patient. But his own doesn't have that monitoring. The monitoring for the respiratory rate, monitoring for the oxygen concentration, monitoring for the oxygen pressure, and the different types of mode of ventilators. So I think that what he needs to do is that the government should encourage him to go and do more training, and so that we'll be able to have our own homemade ventilator that will be cheaper and be much available, not only in Nigeria but in the African sub-region. So I think that's my brief about it.
A ventilator uses pressure to blow air into the lungs. The device brings oxygen to the lungs and takes carbon dioxide out of the lungs.
From being empty, when I turn it on slow, it takes a while before this bag gets filled up. This is 2, 3, and 4. And now putting it by increasing the respiratory rate to max. You see the second, the third, and the fourth. I think it's clearly visible that it's on the max is a lot more faster. The respiratory rate is a lot more faster than when it's lower.
However, Jerry and his team feel the country can look inwards and tap into its enormous potential by encouraging talent to produce the medical device locally, as they have attempted.
Please permit me to give you a quick demo on how this machine is operated. You turn this on to charge the system, and you turn the sterilizer on by turning this switch on. When you turn this sterilizer on, you have a purple light on the machine that indicates to you that it's being sterilized. From this knob here, you increase the respiratory rate. And with this switch here, you turn on the ventilator. The LED bulbs here indicates the power level. With this knob here, you increase the pressure level and reduce the pressure level. From here, you attach your oxygen tank. It humidifies the air before passing it into the ventilator. But just coming up with a prototype is not enough. We needed a medical team that will scrutinize and put this through a clinical test.
He shed light further.
Having gone through the clinical test, this machine could be efficiently put to use if improved upon. If we have everything needed in place, Nigeria will be a proud manufacturer of its own ventilators.
With the project completed, Jerry Malo wants to build an upgraded version with digital input and output sources. For now, his product is still subject to scrutiny to ascertain its veracity. Until when this is determined, his effort has presented before us all the need to look inwards in our quest to not just manage the COVID-19 spread, but to also find a cure to the pandemic. Don't forget, you can always be part of the Eyewitness Report program by simply taking your shots and uploading them to our Eyewitness portal via the Channels TV app. So, if you don't have the app, quickly go download from app stores, launch, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow instructions on how to upload your shots. Let's see what you already uploaded for the week. The first photo shows what motorists plying the Mile 2 Badagry Express Road face whenever it rains. Our eyewitness wonders when this siege on the motoring public would end. Next is a video showing the flooded state of Akpete, Awoton Road in Ibadan. Our eyewitness says there is no drain and no drivable road. He wants this issue arrested as soon as possible. Flood also took over the Mushin-Agege Road after a downpour. Commuters, according to our eyewitness, found it quite difficult plying the route. He adds that the relevant agency has to help in dealing with the flood challenges there. The menace of PET bottles and other plastic items is next. Our eyewitness says this is a Nigeria streets relay Lagos totally blocked. He wants the state and the local authority to do something about these environmental hazards. Those are your shots. To keep them coming. Let's do this once again next week. Till then, I'll keep my eyes on you.